Hello, friends. Welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Welcome to a show where we will attempt to build a real-time stock tracker. And Elon Musk, thank you for those 10 bits. Hello to you too. Yeah, it's basically, it's for the memes, the recent news, all the stock stuff. So we're going to try to build a real-time stock tracker. Now, I have no idea what API we're going to use, but the main idea, so I mean, I use DuckDuckGo, and if you search DuckDuckGo for GME, which is the stock abbreviation for GameStop, you get the current price, you get, I guess, how much it's increased today, and the percentage and the dollar amount, and basically all we're going to do is somehow get access to this data. And we're going to try to have historical data as well, starting from when we start recording the data. And we'll just have a chart on the page. It's up 48.5%, yeah. But we'll have a chart on the page that just moves in real time. As the price changes, you'll see a little line moving. That's it. Should use NinjaTrader? Yeah, I'm open to suggestions, but honestly, I might just look. I did a little bit of research, and I might use whatever DuckDuckGo is using. Thank you, Elon Musk, who says get Doge. I don't think I will, but everyone else that is, good for you. It's good to hear, Daniel. I actually don't know much about the stonks. I don't know much, but all I know is it's news right now. AlphaVantage.co. Yeah, Google blocked it. Dang. It is public data, yeah. I mean, if AlphaVantage is a nice API, maybe I'll use it. The main idea I had is I would potentially build my own backend that just polls an endpoint, and then my own backend would emit a socket event to my front end when there's new stock data. So I have 2 Ethereum. That's all the crypto I have. 2 Ethereum. Well, thank you, Mingo. Very, very much appreciated. I don't take stock in stocks. I don't know. And thank you, Williams. Yeah, we like the drop command. We'll use high charts. I think I'm going to use Chart.js. Yeah. This is a nice chair. This is the IKEA Marcus, I think is what it's called. It's a good chair. I mean, if you've seen my show before, I've streamed for like 12 hours sitting in this chair, so it's a pretty good chair. DuckDuckGo is incredibly scrapable. Exactly. We'll see. For those of you that are just joining us, please join us in playing the drop game. If you type !drop me in the chat, your avatar will fall from the sky. And you can do that throughout the stream. If at any point you have no idea what's going on, just do a drop. Just do a drop. And if it lands in the center, like this one is about to, that's a beautiful drop. Who was that? Duder and ADS and Time and Dev. Great work, everyone. Yeah, so if you land in the garden, you get your name on the screen. Hey, Girlazo, thank you very much for that raid. Welcome, raiders. We're just getting started. We are just getting started. Hello. Welcome. And actually, you all can join us. So you see all these things flying from the sky. This is the drop game. So in my chat, if you type !drop me, that will drop your avatar and it will fall. And if it, as you can see, if it lands in the center, your name will be on the screen. So you can do that throughout the stream. But welcome. What were you working on, Girlazo? Let's see. Tech Talk and preparemos proyectos y más. I don't know what, preparing a project? Is that what that means? Well, welcome. Thanks for being here. So what we're going to do today is we're going to attempt to build a web page that shows the real-time price of GME. So we're gonna bring in a chart library and show this price on a chart in real time. That's the plan. We don't have much more than the plan at this point. Oh yeah. This is not financial advice. I think I'll put a disclaimer on the site that we build that you probably shouldn't trust this information. Don't use it. So that's the thing. I have a meeting in about an hour and a half. So we gotta go quick. Okay, what is the Bloomberg terminal? I mean, maybe we could style it like that. I don't know what the Bloomberg terminal looks like. Bloomberg terminal. If you missed it, I don't really know much about stonks. Is this the Bloomberg terminal? It's really ugly. I don't like it. I mean, can we get a better image than that? Do the stonk traders use this? I mean, it made them famous. It's ugly as heck. Yeah, I mean, are there any? So I'm honest with you. I don't really know much about the stock market or tech companies that are doing things with the stock market. Like, are there any startups out there that are like creating like a decent dashboard? And hey, Nadal, thank you for that Twitch Prime sub. I mean, I want to see like a close up. I mean, I guess, is this it? Offers hands-on experience. I don't know. We'll see. Honestly, we're gonna do our best. $12,000 a year to use it? wait. Oh, because is DuckDuckGo open source? Is that what we're seeing here? Let's see, Imphy. Let's see where you're taking us. Zero-click spice. Yeah. Okay. So, I think. Okay. Typically, we start off. I say hello. I'm ready for Wall Street. I typically say hello to everybody, but we got to start writing some code. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're just gonna start. I'm gonna figure out how we're gonna do this. Let's make a quick little to-do list, and we'll check it off as we go. So I'm gonna make a directory called real-time stonks. We're gonna go in there and make a README. I don't know much, but I know that Robinhood is not doing great things. I know that much. Okay. To do. So first of all, we need to find an API. A stock API. Now this, we could end up finding a real-time API. We could end up finding an API that we need to pull. We just need to find an API. So we're gonna do that. Next up is, I mean, it's kind of dependent on the kind of API that we find, because we might need to build a backend. So I'll say like, maybe we build a backend. We'll do a Node.js backend with Socket.io. Because the idea is the backend would be consuming all the data and potentially storing it in a database, so we have like a historical data. And then anytime a client connects, it could retrieve the historical data and then get a socket message anytime there's a price update. And that makes sense, Doc. Yeah, it's ugly by design. And see you, Karan. Thanks for dropping by. And hello, Katsamillion. Thanks for being here. Yeah. I understand cookies and cream. TD Ameritrade? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, so maybe we do that, and then we need a page. So basic web page. When we get there, we'll vote on what we use. And Bert C, thank you for that Prime sub. But we could possibly use React or Vue or Vanilla, but we'll have a web page, and on that web page we need to show the real-time price. So that just needs to be on the page somewhere. And then we need a chart with real-time updates and historical data. So the chart will have the prices that it's been at today, and then each time we get a new real-time price, we'll add a plot point to the chart. We're gonna vote on it. It's gonna be a legitimate vote. All right, let's find a stock API. So Infy has linked us to the source code of DuckDuckGo. So DuckDuckGo is a search engine I like to use. And parts of it are open source, or is all of it open source? But they're yeah, look at this. So they're actually calling the Xignite API. So they're calling this DuckDuckGo. Whenever you put in a stock, what is this called? A ticker? Abbreviation? This thing. Whenever you put in GME to display this data on the page, it's completely open source. That's great. So, but it's actually calling this API. So, I mean, technically, if it's a nice API, we could call the same API. I just have no idea if it's going to take time to get an API key or what. Ticker symbol. There we go. The symbol. Yes, thank you. And so this is the backend code that makes the request. You can see it's written in, is this Perl? PM? And then the front end, makes a call to NASDAQ real-time, potentially? It is Perl. Yeah. Okay, Xignite. we could get a free trial. Honestly, I don't want to. So we could basically do what DuckDuckGo is doing, but I don't want to. Here's what we're gonna do. We're going to somewhat scrape the data from DuckDuckGo. So again, you would never use this for real-time trading, but here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna open up the network tab here, and we're gonna see what network requests are made and see if we can replicate those to get the stock info. So if I refresh the page, we could potentially filter by XHR, maybe not. If I search for GME, which is the stock ticker, there's an endpoint here. Look at this, duckduckgo.com/js/spice, and hey, noodles, thank you for the 100 bits, /stonks/GME. And this gives us back some data. I think this is fine. We're gonna call this. Now, the interesting thing about this is this is kind of like JSON-P, because it gives us back data that is wrapped in a function invocation. And we don't really want that. I mean, technically, if we were doing it on the front end, we could do it with JSON-P. However, here's what I want to do. I want to build a backend. Hey, Blanimon, thank you for the 3 months up already. Yeah, that's crazy. Just eval. Yeah, I could create a function in my backend, eval their code, and then that function takes in the data. No, but we'll basically just pull off the function invocation and the closing parenthesis, and then use JSON parse on the data. Mainly because, like, we could easily just create a web page that when you load the web page, it starts showing you the real-time price. However, I want my backend to have a database of the price history. I think I want that. What's on top? Something's saying green screen on top. What's happening? Is it when I move around? I don't know. It looks okay, I think. We're probably not going to turn off slow mode. No, there's a lot of people here. Any tips on coding? Just keep coding. That's about it. Binance? Olaf, thank you for that 6-month resub. I appreciate you. Is this a bad idea? Like, to creating my own backend that has historical prices? Should I do that? Or should we just build a front end that calls this endpoint on a poll? Like every 5 seconds it calls this endpoint. Let's vote on it. Whoa, there's a hype train. We'll do a legitimate poll. What to do? Backend with historical. Just front end. Real time only. All right, you have 1 minute to vote. Vote now. I mean, the benefits of historical is you have historical data. Like, anybody that goes to the web page is going to be able to see a price history. And if they didn't have the web page open when the price was a certain amount, the backend would keep track of that. Otherwise, with front end only, you will only see the prices that were reported when the page was open. So yeah. APIs probably do have historical data, but like I said, I'm not even going to try to touch like an API that requires an API key. Mainly, I just don't want to deal with that. Because, I mean, stock market stuff is serious, and I'm sure they have rate limits and stuff like that. So, does DuckDuckGo have the historical price? All the links go out to NASDAQ. Let's look at this page. Oh, it looks like backend with historical data 1. How long will it take? Less than an hour and a half. Yeah, so I mean, this does give historical data, but we would have to find their API endpoint. Well, does Google have an API endpoint? More about GameStop Corp. Yeah, the issue here is if I look at the network traffic, it probably has my user token, which could be used for my my Google account. I don't want to show that on stream. I think I'm just going to start coding. This is going to be the most hacky real-time stock thingy ever created, but we're going to do it. We'll code it in a way where we could replace the API later on if we wanted to. How about that? Timon says, tomorrow's a big data exam, and this topic is a perfect example. Also, what happened in the last month? Didn't really have time to watch your streams. Not much. I didn't stream that much in the last month. It's just been a whole lot of hanging out and Q&A. Not much, really. This is free and requires no API key? All right. I kind of just want to start coding, but let's see. Alpha Advantage. Get your free API key today. Software developer. Actually, I'm going to choose educator. No organization. I got to put in my email. What are the rate limits on the API? And I guess, do they already have like a socket API or a real-time API? Intraday. This API returns intraday time series of the equity specified. It's too much. It's too much for me right now. We're going to do it the hacky way. Let's go. Okay, so we need a backend. I'm going to make a directory called API. Let's go into that API folder. We're going to init it. And that should do it. And then I'm going to install, at least for now, we need Axios, because we need to make a request to that backend endpoint. Let's at least get the data from DuckDuckGo. That's step one. Get the data from DuckDuckGo. We'll make a source directory, and then I'm going to go ahead and install ESLint to do my linting, and then also nodemon so that it auto restarts the server. Kaggle? Oh, so is that like historical price? So they don't have real time though, right? Thank you, Stormborg. So this is a Yahoo Finance endpoint. Let's see. Whoa. Okay. So we get back one result for GME. We've got the regular market price, the previous close price, current trading period. We've got timestamps, so that's great. Do we also get all the price? This already gives us historical data. Well, I think the main thing is we would have to pull this data though, because I mean this is awesome. This has everything we need. Yeah. This has everything we need. Is this cheating? Not really. I mean, I think this is like an undocumented Yahoo Finance API. The only issue is we would need to call this API like once every 5 seconds and locally in the browser. Oh, well, yeah. So if there's no cores, then we technically do have to create a small backend to get around the cores error. Let's see. So we can check to see if there's cores headers by looking at the network traffic, looking at this, and then if the response includes access control allow origin. It doesn't. It's possible if we request it with front-end code that it does. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. And then now we don't even need a backend. All right, let's go. Step one, remove the backend. And we're just going to build a front end. So let's vote on what we're going to build the front end with. The best coding challenge ever. What to use? Do we use React? Do we use Vue? Or do we just use vanilla? Those are your options. Bro. Yeah, and the thing is, like, if we built a backend, it could emit socket events with that data. Maybe we still build a backend. Yeah, the reason I wouldn't need a backend is because I can write front-end code that requests this data directly. And so this is basically just like using Yahoo Finance's backend. Because they already have, in this API response, they have historical data, they have the current price, they have everything we need. So yeah. Yes, backend. No backend. I'm actually using an extension in Firefox that makes my JSON data look this way, but if you don't install that extension, you get the default viewer, which looks okay too. But in Chrome, you can install JSON viewer, I think it's called. This is the one. Yeah, if you install this in Chrome, you'll get like pretty printed JSON responses if you ever open JSON in your browser. Yep. I think the historical data is for today. It's like today's prices, right? We could look at these timestamps. So let's look at the first timestamp in the list. Friday, January 20th. Yeah, that's the stock market opening time, 7:30 a.m. my time. And then the last timestamp in this array is when I made the request, which was 3 minutes ago. So it's just today's prices. All right, people want us to use React. Okay, let's just build a front-end app. And we're just gonna pull the endpoint. I'm gonna install create React app just to make sure that we have the latest one. Oh, I need to switch to Alt-Tab. Yeah, I still use Hyperswitch. Spicy. Okay, let's do create React app. Let's just call it the client, because maybe we will build a backend. If we get this working, we could build our own backend that emits socket events. How about that? And hey, Amr, boga hey. Why not use npx create React app? I believe because if I already had it installed globally, it would have used the outdated version, and I do have it installed globally already. So npx create React app is only good if you don't have it installed globally already. Well, thank you, Let's Filler. No TypeScript. No, I mean, I only have an hour to write this. I can't do it in TypeScript in an hour. We'd be, I mean, I guess technically we could generate TypeScript definitions for all this, but no, TypeScript would just get in the way. For this specific project at this specific time. TypeScript is good sometimes, just not right now. Oh, it used Yarn. Oh, now. Yeah, we need to skip the pre-flight check because I do have ESLint installed globally. Man. Coding isn't fun anymore. The moment I have to start coding, it's not fun. Okay, start it up. Here we go. Run on another port. And we should get a React app. How do I grow my hair so fast? Well, I feel like some of you may have a misconception because the most recent YouTube video, aside from this morning, was uploaded like a month, or was created like maybe a month or two ago. So if you're seeing a YouTube video, it's really old. I don't know. My hair does grow pretty fast though. No, it's fun to write React because it's so convoluted, and as a programmer, I can flex on them. I can write functional components. I can use hooks. So that's why we're doing React, because we want to flex on people. Okay, so we got a React app. Let's just let's try to make a request to this endpoint just inside of our component. So inside of our app.js, we'll just have a little use effect that when the component mounts, it tries to make the API request. Now, it's very possible that this is gonna fail because of a CORS error. Everybody's mentioning my hair. We want a use effect. So if you're not familiar with React hooks, this is a thing that allows us to call a function when something happens, like when a dependency changes or something like that. And so basically what I do is I say, I have 0 dependencies, meaning this function should only run once when the component is mounted. It's not going to rerun if any dependencies change because there are no dependencies. And when the component mounts, I need to do a thing. So we'll create a function out here, get stonks, and then that's going to make the request to this endpoint. So we'll have a stonks URL, that's that. and we'll just use fetch. So the response is fetch with the stonks URL. And then we can try to parse it. I say try because I really don't think it's going to work. I think we're going to get a CORS error. And actually, we'll just return response.json. How about this? Okay, so this function calls the API, returns the data. So now, inside of this use effect, I can call the function, and then we get back some data, and then I can attempt to do something with it. For right now, I'm just going to log it. But eventually, we'll put it on state, we'll show it in the UI, that kind of thing. It's async because we need to, I mean, we could use prompt, we could use .then, .catch, but this is fine. So fetch returns a promise. So this says wait for that promise to resolve. The resolve value of the promise gets put into this variable, and then this returns a promise, response.json, and so this basically waits for those promises to resolve, and then we get the data back. So if I did everything right, we should get a CORS error. Let's see. Yes, we got a CORS error. Yeah, and so you actually, you don't want to do return await response.json because it's already returning a promise, so you don't need that. Async is just a keyword we put on the function. So await goes in front of the thing that returns a promise. Async is like a function modifier that says this function is an async function. Okay, so we got a CORS error. We'll just use a CORS proxy. So if you're not familiar with, if you haven't seen this error before, basically what's happening is my website is on this origin, localhost 3008. That's the origin that it's on. HTTP localhost 3008. It's attempting to make a request to some other origin, https query1.finance.yahoo.com. So the because these are two different origins, the browser is stopping the request from happening. It's like, hey, that's a security, potentially a security issue. This website doesn't say you're allowed to make requests to it, so I'm going to block that. What we can do is we can use a proxy. So we can pass the request through a server that adds the right headers that says, hey, you're allowed to access this data, and we should get around it. So we're going to use CORS Anywhere, which is a publicly available CORS proxy that just adds the proxy headers. Proxies, yeah. So I'll show you really quick. Well, we can watch it happen. So it attempts to make the request. The pre-flight request doesn't see access control allow origin. I realize I'm scrolling really fast, but it's not there. But once we put it behind a proxy, it'll be there. And hey, a light year away. Happy Friday. Thank you for that sub. So here's all we got to do. We're going to grab the proxy URL, which is that. And again, this is a freely available proxy. You could deploy your own proxy. We could basically wrap the call to this API in our own backend, add the right CORS headers, and in our own backend, we could only return the data that we need, that kind of thing. But this should work for now. We're just going to have a front end, no back end. So basically, I put the URL I want behind that, and now my browser is going to make a request here to this Heroku app. That's going to make a request to the Yahoo Finance API, and then that responds to Heroku, and then Heroku gives me back the response. And so now we get the data. Look at that. So we have an object, we have a chart with a result, all that good stuff. And if we look at the network traffic, we can see that this request for GME through the CORS proxy worked. And the reason is that CORS proxy added these two headers. That's literally all it did. It just added the headers. But yeah. This wouldn't work, Gulin, because we were trying to use the data. Like we could try that. It shouldn't work because that's a security issue. Is this in? Is that how this works? How do we do fetch no CORS? It's not my own proxy. No, that's a publicly available one. Fetch no CORS. Mode no CORS. Yeah, this actually this shouldn't work. This should not work. We should still get a CORS error. Syntax error, json.parse, unexpected end of data. We can see what happened. So it made the request. I don't know. All I know is that it's not as easy as that, because the browser security is coming into play and basically saying, hey, you can't make that request. So go back to the proxy. We should get the data. All right. Try again. Awesome. So we have the data. Yeah. We have 100,000 subs. I'll show you my silver play button. Look at it. It says Coding Garden on it. Wow. Yeah. Okay. What do we do now? So we found a stock API. Great. For now, we're not going to this. Oh, hey, Atomic J. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, you all saw my pants. I apologize. Let's just show the price on the webpage. That's all we're gonna do for now. So actually, let's get rid of all the styles. Let's get rid of like the class name here. We'll get rid of the app styles and the logo. Basically, let's just give this a class of price, and then we want to show the price right here. Yeah. I didn't do that, Imphy. Actually, I should do that because I actually had to open up a support request with YouTube to get this. They weren't going to just send it to me automatically. So I said, hey, I didn't get it. Yeah, you're right. Class name. Thank you. Will I get it? And then like 2 days later, like, yeah, you got it. So, okay. What do we do now? We need to... We want to show the price right here. So to show the price, I need some sort of like state variable, and so for that I need to use I need another hook called use state. So here's what we'll do. We're gonna have the price, and then we're gonna have a function that's called set price. And the price, let's say it starts off at 0. I assume that if the price is ever if the response from the API has the price as 0, the company's bankrupt, right? So I can in the div here, I'm going to assume if price is actually let's do this. If price is -1, we'll just show loading. I guess we could have a loading. We'll have a loading variable too. Okay, so we'll have like are we getting actually no, we don't need that because we're gonna be polling. It's gonna be loading all the time. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, so we have our price that starts off as -1. So I want to show that price right here. Now I could just do this, and we should see -1 on the page. There it is, -1. And right here is where I have access to the data. So what I can do in here is I can just set that price to be from the data that I got back. So if we look in here, data has a property called chart. Chart has a property called result, which is an array. And the 0th element in that is all the information about the GME stock. So I'm going to create a variable. We're going to say GME is equal to data dot, what was that? Chart dot result at 0. And then we're just going to log GME. So this should give us that inner object with all the info that we care about. Here it is. So that has some meta information, including the regular market price and the regular market time. So regular market price is what we care about. So that's what I'm going to use. So now I can call this set price function when I get it back and just say set price to be GME dot meta dot regular market price. And like that, so it should be loading, and then all of a sudden we get the latest price. And I could just refresh the page, and eventually it's going to go up or down. Eventually, we're going to get some data. Actually, I'm curious if the course proxy is caching our requests. Negative money. Let's look at the headers. Cache control, max age 10. I should pass in it to tell it not to cache. But there we go. The price went up. The price went up. $299.46. So this is a really bad user experience to have the user have to click refresh over and over again. So what we can do is we can write some code that basically just calls this every 5 seconds. The market, yeah, let's look at, I'll show you that data. So that is in, yeah, I believe it's a Linux timestamp. It's likely, yeah, it's epoch time. So if I actually just do a new date and pass in that, not that, but the timestamp, first trade date. Window.reload with set interval. No, so we'll do it in the the legitimate way of like not refreshing the entire page. But yeah, you can't see this, but how do I? Oh well, we'll go like this. So JavaScript dates are in milliseconds, so we have to multiply, or do we have to divide by 1,000? Nope. I have no idea what this timestamp is. Does anybody know how I can convert this? It's not multiplied by 1,000. It's not divided by 1,000. Is it multiplied by 1,000? Because when I multiply it by 1,000, I get 2002. Every 5 seconds, hijack the mouse to click the refresh button. That's the... Oh, that makes sense. That's the date GameStop had their IPO, initial public offering, right? Okay. If we look at market time times 1,000, that should be roughly nowish. There we go. That makes a whole lot of sense. Thank you, Doc. We were looking at the data wrong. So that is actually when... Yeah, so that was the first trade that ever happened. I thought that was like the first trade today, but obviously it's not. Actually, the first trade today is going to be in this timestamp array. It's going to be this thing. And so the first trade today happened at, you can't see that, at 7:30 a.m. when the market opened. Okay. First of all, let's make this look real nice. Let's add some CSS. So over here in our index, let's say the price has a font size of 420 pixels. Let's see what that gives us. That's really big. What if we do 4.2 vmin? No, we need more than that. 42 vmin. Yeah, there we go. Though, where's the rest of it? Wait, is it just a solid 293 right now with no decimal place? Can't be. Okay, it was. It actually was. 42.0? Okay, 42.0 vmin. Cool. Yeah, and I think what we'll do is we'll just show 2 decimal places. So in here, whenever we set it on state, let's just do 2 fixed with 2. So that should drop the extra decimal place. Great. No, I don't have any GME. I mentioned it earlier. This is not, don't use this tool for financial advice. Yeah, okay. It's Mimi, but it actually doesn't work. We're gonna go a little bit smaller. Let's go smaller than that. Let's go like 30. Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, now I want to call this on some interval. So, I mean... Technically, I could put this in a function. So we could have a function that's like get latest price. And this is what happens inside of that function. And now that we've done that, I can actually make it an async function. So instead of using .then, I can await it. And then all the function that was in the .then goes there. We get rid of that. So we have this nice little function, get latest price. It gets the stonks, extracts out GME, and then gets the current regular market price. Now, I want to call this function like once every 5 seconds. So here's what I'll do. I'll do a set timeout of calling get latest price. We'll do every 5 seconds. And what I want to do here is after we set the price, call itself again in 5 seconds. Now, what I should do is I should keep track of this the timeout identifier. We'll say timeout ID. So that way, if the component is ever unmounted, I can tell it to stop. I'm not doing set interval because I want to wait to get the price back before I call it again. If we use set interval, it would call it again in exactly 5 seconds instead of waiting for the previous response. It's possible I'll be rate limited. I have no idea. We'll see. But But what I want to do now is from this use effect, I can return basically like a disposal function. So this function will be run when the component is unmounted, and I'll do a clear timeout with the current timeout ID, whatever that may be. And I need to return this. So this is our nice little cleanup function. Stop calling the function over and over again. There. Yeah, the proxy would have been would be the thing rate limited. I have a feeling that this endpoint is not rate limited because this is probably the endpoint that like the Yahoo web page uses. Yeah, you're right, Doc. Like, we can do interesting things. Like, instead of calling it in the next, we could keep track of the previous price, and if it hasn't changed that much, then don't call it again for 10 seconds or something like that. However, it's changing really fast today, so we're just gonna call it every 5 seconds. I mean, and technically this should work. I mean, if we just watch the page, eventually it's gonna change. I think I should also put like the date. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. It changed. That's a nice triangle, patent lobster. 280. Done. Yeah. We'll do a chart. Yeah, we got to do a chart next, but I think I also want to show the price. Oh, not the price. The time that this price was recorded. Yeah, regular market time. So let's have another state variable called price time, and then we'll have a set price time. This will start off as null, and then when we get back the response, we'll set it just like we did here. So we'll do set price time to be a new date with gme.meta.regular market time times 1,000. And so that should give us the time that this price was recorded, and then we can show that in the UI, like right below it. Well, let's just put it here. So for now, we'll style this nicely, but we can show the price time. I mean, and technically, we could format this thing. So because this is a date, we could say to locale string, to locale time string. I think this is a thing. And really, I only want to show this if price time exists, because it starts off as null. Well, did we get rate limited? It's very possible. Oh, there it is. Okay. So we'll have to decrease that font size, but you can see that the next time we get a price, the time will update. Yeah, so we see the corresponding time. Great. All right, let's make it look pretty. This is obviously way too big. Yeah, so we go down to 20. That's all right. We'll create another one for the price time, and that'll be a lot smaller. Let's do like half the size, and then we'll put that class on this. So let's put this in a div with the price time. So this is price time. And then this is the price, and then all of this is wrapped in some sort of container like that. Okay, so we show the price, we show the time below it. Should be a little bit smaller. Yeah, it's great. Let's create a little price formatter. I guess what we could do is whenever we set the price, we could put a little $sign in front of it. Money. So now when it shows on the page, it should have a $sign. Oh, I like that, Oscar. Yeah. That's a great idea. So if the depending on if it went up or down, we should indicate that. Show the price in euros. I don't know if we get that back from this API. If we do, we could. Let's see. We have currency USD. There's probably some query parameters we could pass in. Let's try, like currency equals euro. That didn't work. I guess we could convert it. How easy is it to convert? Don't we have to get like the real-time... Oh, EUR? Let's try that. No. Doesn't work. I mean, we could probably, like, I'm sure this is an undocumented API, but we could probably find somebody that's figured out the query params. I'll leave that as an exercise for you. If you want to make a pull request to this, you do it. Hey, Kevin Powell, what's up, friend? Welcome, Raiders. Welcome to the show. We are attempting to build technically we built it. We're done. We built a real-time GME stock price tracker. But yeah, welcome. Yeah, everyone should check out Kevin Powell. He is basically the best CSS person out there right now. So if you want to learn CSS, definitely check him out. And Jonas, thank you for that Twitch Prime sub. But yeah, we're building a real-time stock tracker. We're using React. It's kind of hacky. We found this Yahoo Finance API endpoint that we're using. And right now, I mean, we got MVP, minimum viable product. It shows, yeah, definitely check him out on YouTube as well. It shows the latest price. Every 5 seconds, it calls the API to get the latest price, though we ran into an error. Let's see what happened. Too many requests. We've been rate limited. I knew it was gonna happen. Yeah. Which is probably why we should have found an API with like an API key. Well, I don't think it's the proxy, because yeah. Well, the thing is, if I build my own backend that calls this endpoint, my backend would get rate limited. I don't think it's the proxy. Like, we can the proxy does not rate limit you. As an example, let me just show you. If we call a different endpoint instead, so we're gonna get rid of that stonks URL and just gonna set this to www.reddit.com/r/wallstreet.bets.json. It's not the proxy. I'm telling you, it's not. The proxy got rate limited by Yahoo Finance. That's what happened. So we're gonna make this request and it's gonna work. Watch me. Hey, Tom forgets the pizza. Thank you for the bits. Is this a recipe? I'll have to read that in a second. But look, we were able to get. Wait. We need to pass it through through the proxy URL. Well, the issue with the CORS proxy is it looks at specific headers, and if those specific headers aren't set, then it won't let you use that proxy. What is happening? Refresh. Are we not getting the stonks? Oh, here we go. So it's making the request. And if we look in the console, we should see the data. Yeah, so we do see the data. So what's happening is the proxy is being rate limited by the Yahoo Finance API. Oh yeah, well, let's read the recipe from Tom Forgets the Pizza. Thank you, Tom, for those bits. Oh, I thought Streamlabs would tell me. Guess I'll have to look at the chat. Mash 2 avocados in a bowl until creamy. Then mix tomato, onion, cilantro, lemon juice, and jalapenos into mashed avocado until well combined. We're making guacamole. Season with salt and pepper. Preheat the oven at 350 degrees. Cut each tortilla into 8 chip-sized wedges and arrange the wedges apart on a baking sheet. Then combine oil and lime juice and dab each tortilla wedge until slightly coated. Then combine cumin, chili powder, and salt in a small bowl. Sprinkle on the chips. Bake chips until golden. I have never in my life baked guacamole. Are you telling me that this is good, Tom? Because I'll try it. I really like guacamole. It's one of my favorite foods. And change my IP every 5 seconds. I mean, honestly, we could go down another path. Because I looked into this earlier. And it's actually really interesting. I just don't know if we have the time for it. Don't bake the guacamole. You don't bake the guacamole, just the chips? I think Tom needs to work on his directions. Combine oil and lime juice, dab on each tortilla wedge until lightly coated. Okay, you gotta read between the lines though. If I were following this recipe, like, why are you telling me to make the guacamole before I'm baking the chips, right? Like, there should be instructions that we should potentially start making the guacamole while the chips are in the oven. Bake chips until golden with guacamole on them. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Thank you, Tom, for the bits. Offers a rate limit of 120 requests per minute, so you can ping every second. So Tradier, does Tradier require an API key? Oh, yeah, that's my Patreon. Thanks for whoever requested that. Risk-free sandbox. Sandbox developer. Free sign-up with no requirements. Delayed market data. I need real-time. I need real-time data. Find an API key on GitHub. That would be bad. So this is the kind of thing where you absolutely don't want to publish your API key on GitHub because they rate limit you and people pay for their API keys here. That's like a currency conversion? Okay. Regardless, I mean, I want to see the get quotes endpoint. V1 market quotes. It'll just be interesting to check. Let's search GitHub for this endpoint. Let's see if anybody has it in their code base. And if they do, did they possibly leave an API key around? Yeah, this is calling the sandbox. Honestly, I don't even want to scroll because we're gonna find an API key, and it's not good because this API key you pay money for. That's awesome, Avi. Avi made an extension for Twitch you can install in Chrome and Firefox where it automatically collects your extra seedlings. What's up, Yosef? Thanks for being here. Can I use 2 proxies? I mean, honestly, we should have went with like the first API that somebody recommended. No. We're gonna use this one. We're back to using this one. React with TypeScript is fine. I'm in a rush. I'm just trying to hack this together, and TypeScript would get in my way. So that's why I'm not using TypeScript right now. I use TypeScript at work. It makes sense in the real world, large teams, that kind of thing. Or any project that more than one person is working on, TypeScript makes sense. Okay, I'm at a loss. What do? Do we build a do we try to build a backend? Real time, low accuracy. Okay. Web scrape. Let's see if we're not rate limited anymore. I think we're rate limited. Oh no, we're not. We got back a response. We're probably going to get rate limited after like the 3rd or 4th response though. Okay. I kind of don't know. What do I do with my hands? What do we do now? A rate limited header that you can use. Oh, that's actually a great point. Let's see. We can look at the response headers. That tells us how often we can call this endpoint. Oh, that's not it. We want GME. Let's actually let's stop it. Basically, stop calling the endpoint. Oh, and actually, when this thing starts up, we want to call it immediately. We don't want to wait 5 seconds before getting the latest price. We just won't get the latest price again. Okay, what I'm interested in is in the response headers. Does it tell us how long until we should make the next request? CoinDesk? So is this for currency? I don't really need currency. I need more of like the stock market right now. Cookies and cream, what you want to look into are called like code mods. I think that's the name of them. You can basically write your own code mod that says, if you find code that looks like this, convert it to this. I don't know specifically for that use case, but I know code mods are a thing. I mean, honestly, let's just increase it to 10 seconds. 5,000 times 2. Hope for the best. Okay, what we want to do now, let's get a chart on the page. Let's at least show a chart. I realize that right now it's kind of ugly, but that's fine. We also wanted to keep track of the previous price. Let's see. Previous price, and then we'll do set previous price. So that way we can show it a different color. So when we set the price, we can set the previous price to be the price. And that should allow us to keep track of it. And then we can just have like a conditional style here. Actually, we could do a conditional class name. So we'll do this. So we'll have, we definitely want the price class on here. But if the previous price is less than the price, then we want to say that it's red. Wait. Previous price, no, it's green because it went up. Otherwise, if the previous price is greater than the price, then it's green. Oh, sorry, it's red. Otherwise, just stay the color that you are. Something like that should work. And then we can create classes for red and green. So red just says up versus down. I like it. So up, down. That's a very, very clear ternary. Here, I'll make it even more clear. Let's format this with prettier. Oh, I guess that didn't do much. This is a nested ternary too. It's a ternary inside of a ternary. Doesn't matter. It should work. So up, the color is red. Oh no, so the color is green, and then down, the color is red. Oh, I have to fix this though. So basically what I did is I have an array of strings, and because this is a class name, it needs to be a string, so I need to join this whole array on spaces, and that should do it. Okay, so it starts off, there's no change, and then in 10 seconds when we get the next one, it should be either up or down. We'll see. Up. It's green. That's great. So $322. And let's see where it goes from there. $320. It's red. Wow. First try. Down incoming. Awesome. Let me also just set these text align to center. Actually, this is a perfect use case for a computed property. For the up versus down. Let me show you what I mean. So this calculation right here is basically a computed property. So we could call this the direction, but that direction is a computed property because it's based on previous price and price. So let's call this direction. Now, we're in React, so instead of calling it a computed property, it's memoization. But it's the same thing. So what we can do is we can do use memo. Whatever this function returns, and basically that's the direction, And then we have a dependency on the previous price and the price. So anytime the previous price or the price changes, this is going to recalculate that, and we'll call this direction. And I mean, technically every render, it changes. So, yeah, but I like that, Doc. Let's do it. But this should have the direction stored in this variable, and then we can reuse that direction for like an emoji or something like that. So then I can say if direction is, actually, let's do, we'll have a lookup of direction emojis at the current direction. And so direction emojis is just going to be like a little enum, where if it's up, we show the up emoji. Up, up, up. Oh, I guess we could do the little the chart thingy. Heading up. We have down, and then we also have. Wait, can we have an empty string? Is that even a valid thing? Guess it is. Yeah, that makes sense. Now, so we have up emoji. We have down emoji. Oh yeah. Up is the rocket for sure. What is it when it's going down? Yeah, it'll be a rocket for up. What's the opposite of? Did we just show a down arrow? turn the text 60 degrees. Yeah, we'll show the poop emoji for now. All right, let's just see if this worked. Direction. Okay. Direction emojis is not defined, but it is. There it is. It's right there. Oh, a bear and a bull? Yeah. I actually learned those terms this morning. Yeah, we're going to do the graph next, because I will have to go soon. Thanks. And these are probably better green and red colors. Trying to cross-site script me, Patent Lobster? Calm down. Calm down. Okay, yeah, this will be on YouTube. This is the most panicked stream. I mean, this is not so bad. We need to see the price change to see if it's working. I mean, technically I could increase the number of times it calls the API, but we have to wait 10 seconds before we see the emoji. Oh, it stayed the same. Oh, thank you, Velvet. I appreciate the kind words. Not sure if it's actually staying the same or if my code is broken. Buy a stock and watch the price change. I have no way of buying stock right now. Oh, in the 10 seconds it went up and then went back down. Well, if it stays the same, I mean, technically, instead of looking at the, I'll show you. Instead of looking at the previous and current price as I recorded them in state, technically, we could take a look at, I think, indicators. And we could look at the, well, not indicators. There's some data in here that is like all of, like it's the price history. Right? Where is it? So we have ranges, we have timestamp. Is it indicators? Yeah, this is GameStop. I should probably show that. Let me show that. Oh, we're using the Yahoo Finance API. trading periods. I feel like I saw some data earlier that was like all. So they're giving us back timestamps. There's another array in this response that includes all of the. Oh, that's why we're getting rate limited. Well. Yeah, and so it absolutely could be parameterizable. So right now, GME is just hard-coded in the URL, but you could make this so that the UI has like a drop-down right here, so you could choose the stock ticker, and then that changes the request. Okay. Hey, Julian, thank you for the 100 bits. Very much appreciated. Right now, this API is just giving us back the data for today. It doesn't have like, at least this endpoint doesn't have historical data, just today's historical data. We get trading periods, valid ranges, timestamps. Oh, here it is. Indicators, and then quote. So this is an array of all the prices, I believe. And we can see the last two prices. I mean, really, this is what we could do, is we could compare the last two, and that tells us whether or not it went up or down. Right? Is that the current price? I mean, I actually should put this in a try catch though. So let's do some error checking, so that way if the API call fails, it doesn't just end forever. So we're gonna put this in a try catch. So try to do this, and then if we get rate limited, just try again in 10 seconds. We're gonna log the error. Null isn't a lot. Hey, it worked! It worked for a second. Oh, I think I just closed Firefox accidentally. It worked. I saw it work. When it goes down, it's red with a poop emoji, and when it goes up, it's green with a rocket. Maybe? Oh, we have to wait 10 seconds. I don't know. Let's just get a chart on the page. Actually, yeah, you make a good point, Doc. Okay. Did that go up or down? Because nothing happened. So if we look at meta, the price was 315,547. And then it went to... It's going down. Nothing. It's not showing the right thing. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it. We're gonna get a chart on the page because that's why you're all here, to see it on a chart, right? Say close the DevTools and open it again? No. Oh, it does. That's good. That's good to know, Chris. Someone just put it in the chat, and so I was like, okay, we'll use this. Should I kind of want to see what the previous price is too. I mean, I guess I could just see it in the render function. I think it's possible I'm setting the previous price to be the same price we just got back, which indicates that there's no change. Oh, you're right. Okay, that's actually a great one. Who mentioned that? Chalex, yes. We were setting the price to a string with a $sign in it, and so that's breaking. We should put the $sign basically just right here, because then that puts it in the UI. Hey. So it's moving up. Okay, that was our issue. Thank you very much, Telex. Rocket to the moon. Okay, we're gonna use this chart library. It's pretty cool. And so, again, I'm not super familiar with the stock market. What is the best chart type that it makes sense to use here? Now, I realize we could use just like a line chart, like a basic line chart, like this. But should we use an area chart? Candlesticks? Okay, but the data that we get, I don't know if we get, I don't think we get the high lows for each period. So basically we get a timestamp, and then for each timestamp we have a price. No. Oh, never mind. We can do a candlestick. We have all the data we need. We have, right? So for each timestamp, we have the high, close, low, open, and volume. Okay. We'll do a candlestick. Is it going up? Does that make sense? Oh, it's going up. Yeah, I was at 315. I want to see it go down. I mean, honestly, I don't want to see it go down, but I want to see my app work. Okay, but we need a candle. Do they not have a candle? Candlestick. I guess we could use Plotly. Use a pie chart. I'll look at your JS fiddle. What library are you using for this? Lightweight charts is what it's called. Never used it before. Chart.js financial. Oh, it's a separate module that adds financial stuff. It was last updated 5 days ago. It's in beta, but we could use it. Hey, Modder, thank you for that prime sub. Examples. Wow. Okay, if we look at the source for this example, it brings in chart, the Luxon adapter. Wait, what is Luxon? Is that the plugin I was just looking at? Oh, so it's a date library. Well, why are we seeing a dependency on that? Well, I mean, obviously, I guess to show the dates, that makes sense. But I didn't see why I'm mentioning this is I didn't see I didn't see this being pulled in. Or is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's what brings in the financial chart library. Let's look at their source code. Patent Lobster's trying really hard. He's trying really hard to cross-site script me. The only bug bounty is invisible coding garden points. Okay. Actually, no. So we're using. I'll mention really quick. We're using DOM Purify. So technically, if you find a vulnerability, it's likely that DOM Purify is vulnerable to that, and you should report it to them because many websites are dependent on DOM Purify. Okay. Grab the chart. The type is candlestick. The data, get random data, returns an object with open, high, low, and close. That's so easy. Or no, random bar. So you have an array of all the arrays, and each array has an object with open, high, low, and close, and the timestamp. Cool. I mean, this seems easy enough. The only thing I'm thinking about right now is Chart.js probably has like a React plugin. So maybe I should be searching for that. React charts candlestick. Well, that's nice. This isn't Chart.js though, I don't believe. This is Canvas.js. Wow. this is pretty. That's real nice. Does it cost money? Canvas.js. Download. Can I just npm install it? I don't want to download it. Is this go to... I'm just gonna search for React.js candlestick chart. We'll find a library. It might not be Chart.js, but whatever we can find, we'll use. There's Apex charts. And Alan, thank you for the bits. Thanks for having such great content. Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Apex charts is cool. Does it cost money? Can I just use it? Fusion charts. Apex charts is open source. If I have to click it, it doesn't count, Patent Lobster. I guess I can look at lightweight charts. Does lightweight charts have a React plugin? Git library. I'm leaning towards wait, what's this? React stock charts. Wow. It's just as ugly as the Bloomberg terminal. If we want to be legit, we could use that one. I want it to look purty like this. Basic candlestick. Oh yeah, I forgot Uber has a bunch of like React libraries. I'm using one of their maps library. I think they changed their name though to VisGL. Examples. Charts. Is there a candlestick anywhere? All right, well, I think we're gonna use Apex charts. It looks nice enough. Let's go to the docs. Uber Maps is, I mean, the library is free to use, but it integrates with Mapbox, and you need a Mapbox token to get their tiles. But I believe the library will work with like your own tile server. Apex charts React. Archrod is a proponent of Apex charts. So we might just use it. React VX. Do they have, and hello Mewtwo, how's it going? Do they have a candlestick? That's the main issue we're up against right now, is we're looking specifically for a candlestick chart. Well, no, not that. Let's create our own chart. I don't have the time. I literally have like 10-15 minutes left. Okay, so install Apex charts and React Apex charts. We have some state, and then we have a chart, and we pass it. Okay, this is gonna be just one and done. Just watch. We're gonna use Apex charts. So I'm gonna kill the React process. We're gonna install React Apex charts and Apex charts. We're gonna bring in the chart component. A startup broker. So after it's done installing, we can bring in the component. And then we bring in the chart, like so. And then we'll figure out how we need to pass down the data that we're getting back from the API. So this.state.options, this.state.series, type is bar. Let's just see this. Let's see this chart show up, and then we'll turn it into a candlestick. This is all I'm going to do for now. I'm just going to put this in a variable called chart. And then down here, I'll just say chart.options, chart.series. It should be a bar chart. So we installed the dependency. We'll start it back up, and we should see a bar chart on the page. Maybe? Hey, that's great. Now all we got to do is turn it into a candlestick. How do we do that? Let's look at their docs. Okay, so how do I update the chart? Yeah, you just update state. That's great. Okay, so if we look at chart types, candlestick. two-dimensional array paired. And hey, Fob, thank you for the 3-month resub. Love your streams. Keep it going. Thank you very much. We can also pass in single arrays. The single array format accepts timestamps, open, high, low, and close. Oh, no, I would have to create this, but I think that's fine. I think that's fine. And, McKinsey? Thank you for that Twitch Prime sub. Very much appreciated. Okay, so here's what we do. In our chart options, we can specify the series, like this. Maybe we don't even need the x-axis at this point. And then down here, we can set the type to be candlestick. That's not right. There might be some other setup we need to do for candlestick. Customizing the colors. Ship it. Let's look at, I wonder if we can see some of their demo code for like a candlestick. Here we go. This is the React. Yeah, React chart demos, candlestick, basic candlestick chart. Okay, so, wait. It has the data. What am I missing? Options, chart type, height, title, x-axis, y-axis. I think this is what I need. And I guess I don't have to pass down the type if we pass down the options. Options, candlestick. Okay, let's see what this does. I guess I could copy and paste their full example. I'm trying to get it to work with their provided example data, and then if that works, I'll plug in the data that I'm getting back from the API. And I guess, I mean, technically, I could recreate the data in this format. It just would have been nice to do it in the other format. Okay. Yeah, so we'll do the XY format. That passes options and series. Oh, and it does need type candlestick as well. So we'll do that as well. So basically all of this go, wait, what did I copy and paste? Yeah, that should work. So we have this chart object that has series, which is a bunch of stuff. We then have the options. Great. Now down here, options, series, and then type is candlestick. Whoa! It works. It works. Okay, I think the issue was it was hot reload didn't work. Okay. Great. I wonder if this thing can be responsive. Like, can I just set a width of 100%? Let's do a hard refresh. Yeah, look at that. No, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, and then it'll resize on that. But Salamini, thank you for that resub. I've mostly been lurking, but you're my one and only Twitch subscription and a huge inspiration. Keep it up, my man. Oh, thank you very much, Salamini. Very much appreciated. Okay. Is that right, though? Did we lose data? No, it resizes. That's amazing. All right. Now all we have to do is take the data that we got, put it into this format, and we'll have everything we need. Photon, thank you for that sub. Okay. This is the data that we're getting back. It has a property called timestamps. And then it has a property called indicators, which has a property called quote. So timestamp is going to be the timestamps of all of the price items that we have. Oh, Hype Train. Thank you, everyone. So we have 354 recorded prices, and then 354 data points for all the other aspects of it. And Doc with the resub. Thank you very much. That's probably like an 8 or 9 month resub. Where are you at, Doc? 10 months. And Elon Musk, thank you for the bits. That looks amazing. I love watching you code. Would be awesome if you do something with Socket.io. Yeah, so if we created our own backend, instead of polling the API to get the latest response, we could have a socket connection that just emits the latest price. But, okay, what we need to do is we need to take the data we get back from the API and turn it into this format here. So every data point needs to be an object that has an X and a Y property. And Lexarray, thank you for that Twitch Prime sub. So we need, for every data point, an object with X and Y. And then we'll look at the docs, but this is probably like high, low, open, close. For now, I'm actually just going to clear out this array. So it's going to start off as completely empty. And this will need to be a this will need to be a state variable. So check it. We'll say the series, and then set series is going to be a state variable that starts off like this. It starts off as an array with an object inside and then a data property inside. And then when we get data back from the API, we're going to update this state variable with that format and all of the data inside of it. So now down here, we just pass in series. And this now should just be, when the page loads, it should just be an empty chart because we don't have any information yet. Okay, now we need to iterate over the data we get back and turn it into this. So right here is where we have the latest data. And so what do we call it? Let's just call it prices? Yeah, prices. It's going to be an array, but it's going to be GME dot, how is it? I think it's timestamps. GME.chart.timestamp. That's going to give us the specific timestamp. Well, we want to map it. So for every timestamp, we want to return an object, so we're going to map it. This gives us the timestamp, and then ultimately we want to return this thingy. One moment. This. Like that. Okay, so for every timestamp, return an object where the date is the timestamp times 1,000. And then we need to grab these values. Let's figure out what those are. Like if we look back at their docs. Did we see that anywhere? You can only drop one emote at a time, but I don't think there's a timeout right now. So you can drop all the emotes you want. And yeah, emotes and emojis. Does anyone know what the order is? Oh wait, did we see it? I think we saw it in the overall candlestick documentation. Here, yeah, that we were in the React specific one, so it should be open, high, low, close. Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's put that there as a reference. But if we look at our data, we should have a property called indicators. That has a property called quote, which is an array. So, I'm going to do this just to make it a little more clear. So this is a function that returns an object, but we can... Wait, never mind. No, I needed just to define this outside of here. This is called quote. Yeah, we'll call this the quote. So the quote is going to be GME dot indicators dot quote at 0. That should give us this object, and then that has volume, open, low, close, and high. So what we should be able to do is grab the specific one in each of those arrays that has the same index as the timestamp. So this should be quote dot open at the index. This should be quote at high at the index. This should be quote at low at the index. This is my break timer. Let's take a quick stretch. What's up, crazy alien? I look like Hagrid from Harry Potter. I'll take that. Hagrid's a good dude. Yeah, so we have low, and then lastly we have close. Now, I am 60% positive that this is just going to work. There may be an issue with how I'm accessing these properties, but I think we're really, really close. So now all we do is we take these prices and we put it on state. So we just need to say set series with this specific format with the prices. But instead of data being empty, data is just the array of prices. I think it's gonna work, but I am not confident enough to let you bet with your points. So let's just see if there's any errors. If there's not any errors, we can just rejoice because it's gonna work on the first try. Yeah, so this was the issue. Can't access property timestamp gme.chart is undefined. gme.meta.chart, gme.meta.indicators. I think that was our issue. Can't access property quote GME meta indicators is undefined. See, it's just a really big API response, and so I don't know where these properties are. Okay, so, oh no, it's before meta. Ah, it's not under meta. It's just here. There we go. All right, this is gonna work. Third try. Third try. Now, can't access property timestamp gme.chart is undefined. Oh. And is it just timestamp? What? Timestamp. Okay, this is it. This is the one. I think it's working. We can fix the XY labels because they have like way too much rounding, but check this out. Okay. Yeah. We can see it opened at 394. Okay. I don't know what this means. And then we can see the latest timestamp, or the latest one is what? Actually, yeah, can we zoom in? Enhance. Oh, that's cool. How do I zoom out? No, I don't think there's any future prediction. No, I mean, we could add that. Basically, the thing you would need to do is run some sort of algorithm against it and then extrapolate and add some data points onto the end of that array. Here's what I want to do. I want to zoom in right here because I want to see, like right now it's 323, then it was 318. And in 10 seconds, we should get a new, yeah, so when we get a new data point, the entire chart refreshes with 326. It's working! No, it is. We just have really, really long decimal points. We could round everything. Should we round everything? Yeah, it's super interesting that like every time it updates, it actually refreshes the entire thing. I kind of don't like that. But I think it's fine. Let's round everything to 2 decimal places. I agree. Let's create just a nice little rounder function. Round. This takes in a number. JavaScript is not the easiest to... Actually, I guess you can do math.round with a precision, can't you? No, rounded to the nearest integer. Yeah, so we have to do toFixed, but the only issue with toFixed is it returns a string. So then we can just parse it back as a number. So turn it into a string with 2 decimal places, and then turn it back into a number. So let's round all of these. Actually, watch this. So I have an array of numbers. I just want to turn that into an array where I round each number. What happened? Did I break it? I think I broke it. Can't access prop. Oh, to fixed number is null. Ah, so what do I do if it's null? Did somebody call that out? They're like, hey, it's gonna have a number in it, or it's gonna have null in it. So if number is a thing, doing that. Otherwise, return null. So we have no data for it. Look at that. Now we've got some nice round, 2 decimal place rounded numbers. I'm gonna decrease my font size just so I don't have to keep scrolling like that. Let's go to like 12, 16, 8. There we go. There we go. Do I need a parenthesis inside the plus? Possibly. Right here? I don't think so. But yeah, look what we built! Oh, apparently not. I see what you mean, Doc. Yeah, but apparently this chart library is able to work with strings that are numbers, so that's cool. Content. We've done it. So that's great. I have to go now, but just to see it a little bit nicer, let's update the price every 2 seconds. So every 2 seconds, we're gonna have potentially new data. Wait, did I do that right? Is that the right place? Yeah. Though we might have already gotten rate limited. Yeah, so 3520 at 153.09. Is it refreshing? Wait, is the stock market closed? What time's the stock market close? Oh yeah, and by the way, you should not use this to inform your buying decisions. This is, yeah. I have 7 minutes. Okay, so it closes at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's hilarious. I didn't realize, I mean, I know that I'm 2 hours behind New York time, but I didn't realize we're getting that late into the day. Cool. This is great. I'm kind of proud of this. The fact that we were able to hack this together. Yeah, looks like it's working. What does this do? Panning. Oh, okay. So I can I can zoom in, and then I can pan. This is a really nice chart. Whoever suggested Apex charts, thank you. This is really cool. I'm gonna have to look at this stuff later. What else can we do? Download PNG? Okay. 1 second. Will this work? That's so cool. JavaScript did this. It literally generated an image. Okay. Yeah, I'll push all this to GitHub. What am I gonna... I'll push it right now. Actually, I'll deploy it right now. And we'll do every 5 seconds. Yeah. Build it and deploy it. I need to update my package.json. I'm just gonna deploy it to Surge because that's easy. Yeah. Oh yeah. I should add a warning. Do not use this site as financial advice. Class name equals warning. Is that a good enough warning? We'll set it to red. We'll set the text style. Is that a thing? Font size is going to be like 6 VMin. For entertainment purposes only. Something like that. Yeah, and we'll make it orange. Somebody mentioned that in the chat. I like that. Oh, I killed the site though. Let's just make sure it looks good, and then we'll deploy it. Data's not accurate because we're like, that's hilarious. We're gonna make the font smaller than that, like 2 vmin. That's awful. I think it's pretty good. Actually, the orange is not very visible though. Yeah, well, I think it needs to be red. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So now, so if you're just joining us, this was just hacked together. But basically what we're doing is we're making a query to the Yahoo Finance API. So they have an endpoint that gives us back all the info about GME. It gives us the historical data for today. It gives us the current price. So we have a nice little function that calls that API to get the data back. When the component is mounted, we get the latest price. So we call that function to call the API, we get back that data, and then we use it. So that data has the regular market price. That's how we're displaying it on the page. We're keeping track of the previous price, so we can show it either as green or red, depending on if it went up or down. And then we take all of the historical data provided, and we put that on state. And so each time we call the API, we potentially have a few more new data points, and those get added here. We're using this chart library, which is using that data. So anytime it changes, this chart library knows to show the latest data. That's pretty much it. We show the price, we show the time. And then the other thing that we're doing is we have a little computed property for direction. So based on the previous price and the current price, that determines if it's going up or down or if it's staying the same. And thank you, the Time, for the stonks. So we determine if it's going up or down, and then we just use that up or down to determine what emoji we show. We also use that up or down to determine if it should be the up class, which makes it green, or the down class, which makes it red. And that's our app. That's it. It's not that complex. And it works pretty well. Cool, yeah, okay, so, and all of this is running inside of the web browser. So we use this library called React, but what we need to do now is we need to turn this into code that the browser directly understands. So to do that, I'm gonna do npm run build. And so, oh yeah, you're right, I only have like 1 minute, and then the site's just gonna break because, well, it's not gonna break, but the data isn't gonna change anymore. Okay, so that created a build directory. These are all static assets. I can just put these on a CDN, and you can view the website there. I don't need a backend server. GME stonks.surge.sh. Beautiful. And so now if you go to this website, you should see this little chart. You should see the current price. And, yeah, npm run by. We're like a minute away from the market closing. I don't know. Are there any GME holders in the chat? Like, is 329 a good price for us to be closing at today? I have no idea. I mean, it's lower than we opened. We'll take it. Okay, cool. I know it's lower than the opening price, but the hedge fund billionaires still somewhat get screwed over if we close at this price. Right? Are you all getting too many requests? Oh no. Well, it's because we're all using the same proxy to get the data. Just open it up tomorrow morning. Or the markets are closed tomorrow. Open it up on Monday. Considering, yeah, that it's so unfortunate. Like, there's something has to happen about people not being able to buy. Well, I mean, most of the people are on Robinhood and Robinhood limited buying. I don't know. But open it up Monday morning and it'll probably work. But I have to go to a meeting. You all are great. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the follows we got today. Thanks for all the supports. Thanks for the raids. You all are great people. Next stream, and hey, Alan, thank you for the 200 bits. You have a nice weekend as well. The next stream is planned for Monday. What's today? Friday. Yeah. I'll stream again on Monday. I'm probably just gonna do a coding Q&A. So if you have questions about JavaScript, React, Vue, Node.js, backend APIs, databases, anything like that, I'm happy to answer your questions on Monday. The page title still says React app. Yeah, I believe it. All right, everyone. Wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning. Wait. Join us in. We are going to raid. We're going to raid. You definitely have to join us in the raid because there's a ton of you here today. So check out the raid messages. Wherever we go, show them lots of love. Drop a follow if you like what they're doing. Here, if you're a sub, this is your message. If you're not a sub, this is your raid message, or you can just use whatever raid message you'd like. But wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And until next time, here's this.